Good morning, everybody. I just finished my third day in a row of waking up and meditating for 2 hours. It just felt so good today. And it was kind of like one of those days, those realizations like, oh, why haven't I been doing this more? Like, why did I get away from doing this? It just feels like so restorative and nourishing. And it's only the third day in a row of me doing it, but I noticed today how I woke up at like 6:45 in the morning and I felt like this excitement to do it. The first 2 days were pretty dreadful. Like the first day especially, I was checking the clock. I checked the first 2 days of meditating for 2 hours first thing in the morning. I kept like checking the clock to see how much longer, and it was just kind of like I had to use a lot of will, I had to like really like, all right, we're doing this, because there were so many of these like energies of resistance and just irritation, and just didn't want to sit still. But I noticed today I was just like more able to melt into beingness. And like I said, yeah, I like was excited today. I was like, oh, this is my 2 hours first thing in the morning. Something was just like really embracing the meditation today. And so yeah, it felt really good. And I noticed how in the early stages it wasn't quite as alive, and I was kind of really stuck in the mind, in my egoic structure. And just as the meditation went on, I noticed how my awareness just all on its own started to kind of unravel itself from the egoic structure, from the egoic mind, you could say. And it was a noticing of how much power I tend to give to that structure, even still, unknowingly, and unconsciously. And so that's what a long meditation will do for you. It will show you how in the grip of your egoic mind you still are. And you might have to sit there for a long time to start to realize it. I mean, it's like only my third day of doing this, but I'm realizing like, oh my gosh, I've really been at the mercy of my fear programming, of my lack in scarcity beliefs, or my beliefs rooted in lack and scarcity. And so this morning's meditation was really showing me where I'm still indulging in powerless behavior, not only in the external world, but also in how much power I give to my ego mind still. And like, whoa, I'm still magnetized by it. I'm still really pulled by it. And I felt this like really deep inspiration to start really bringing bringing my power back to myself, in a sense, like reconnecting with my power. I think we're also convinced that we have to indulge in powerless behavior to get our needs met. That was a big insight that came through. Like how convinced I still am in all these sometimes not so subtle ways of how I need to indulge in powerless behavior, in desperate behavior, to get my basic needs met. And I was really I was trying not to think so much in meditation, but there was this kind of knowing coming through, like the more I actually indulge in powerless behavior, the less my needs get met. And it's just like powerless behavior feeds more powerless behavior. It's just like this cycle you can get into. Like desperate behavior creates the need to act in more desperate ways. And you just kind of get caught in this movement of always, it's like once you do one thing from a desperate place, then it's a lot easier to do the next thing from a desperate place, and then the next thing. And these can be really subtle ways you can find yourself doing this too. But I was intuiting and feeling into how the opposite is also true. When you act from a place of power, you create a different momentum where it's easier to keep acting from a place of power, and more power and more power and more power. And then you can build yourself, you can feel yourself creating that kind of momentum within yourself. And so it's like these energies, these movements, whether you're acting from a powerless place or a powerful place, they start to create a momentum. And so it might be hard initially, it might be really difficult for you to go from indulging in powerless behaviors as your as just the automatic thing you do, to starting to act from a place of power, or to start acting from an empowered state. Like at first it might be hard, but what I'm noticing even in these meditations, how it kind of creates, it's like a snowball, and it'll get easier to start acting from a place of power over time, and it will actually be hard to indulge in powerless behavior after a certain amount of commitment to living in an empowered state. And so that's just what felt really true for me. And that doesn't, like I said, doesn't even have to be in your external world. It can just be with like within your own inner world, like how much power you're giving to certain thoughts and beliefs rooted in lack and scarcity. And I noticed that today, how the meditation went on, how I was the beliefs and thoughts rooted in lack and scarcity and the whole egoic structure. I was noticing how it had less and less of a hold on my awareness, and I was getting more and more free as the meditation went on. I was getting so free at the end. I was like surrendering into this other place where I was just like really rooted in my hara, really rooted in my gut, and everything was, it was just like more silent and spacious. And I like the egoic thoughts just didn't have that much pull over me anymore. And so it's really nice to start a day like this, just feeling refreshed, feeling connected to my, you could say my true self, who I really am, spacious awareness, and having these realizations about power, and feeling inspired to take my power back from, like I said, fear programming, and just like having subtle realizations of like how I give my power away in everyday life, just like in really subtle ways. And just like having this feeling like, oh, what if I stop doing that? What if I stay empowered? And even in the small ways, it's like those small decisions where we either act from a powerless place or an empowered place, they like really add up over time. And the more we can stay in our power, the more we're going to start to feel this inner state of freedom. And then the more and abundance, we're going to feel this abundance of life force flowing through us, because we're not depleting ourselves and dissipating our energies by indulging scarcity and lack and fear programming. And then we're going to start to have that reflection naturally in the external, because it's all one. Your internal and external world is one. And so that was just like something that felt really good that came through, for me, and I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully it can be inspiring on some level. But I think I'll leave the video there, just a little meditation update, sending you all so much love. First of all, just thank you for being here and connecting to this work. It's just brings me so much joy. And if you feel inspired and it resonates to support this work in a deeper way, joining the Patreon page is a great way to do that, where I have a good amount of exclusive content on there. And I'm always slowly adding more to it. And yeah, that's a great way to support this work. I always leave a donation link below as well. So yeah, if those call to you, those links will be in the description box. But other than that, I'm sending you all, like I said, just so much love and support for your awakening journeys. And I look forward to connecting with you all in the next video. Namaste.